Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Um, I've decided to create a channel where I talk about gang stalking and my experience with gang stalking. I feel that there is a lot of videos out there talking about gang stalking. Obviously, people have been experiencing it more and more and more. It's becoming much more common. The problem, of course, is that there seems to be a lot of people out there giving really bad advice about gang stalking. Coming up with some really wild, crazy theories. I personally heard people talking about, demons and shape shifting and jinns and reptilians and aliens and all sorts of crazy cuckoo wawa theories. And this is the reason why I decided to create this channel is to give people, to set the records straight. What is gang stalking? To give as much information about it as possible. And in this channel, I'm going to be creating a lot of videos, and I'm going to be, setting the record straight. I'm going to tell you what I think is the most plausible theory as to who is behind gang stalking and why it happens. And of course, I'm also going to talk about my own experience with gang stalking because I've been gang stalked for the past 8 fucking years. Excuse my language. I've been experienced gang stalking for 8 years. It started for me in England back in 2016, and I'm still living with it to this day. I also want to inform you guys that I've actually written a book on gang stalking. It's about 70 or 50 pages. The book is called Gang Stalking Insights from a Seasoned Target. That is a book that I wrote personally. In which I provide a lot of information on gang stalking, what I think it is, theories, things that you can do as a target to either protect yourself or to, I'm going to say, combat it, but obviously you can't really defeat gang stalking. I'm going to get into why that is very soon. But the gist of it is I want to dispel the myths out there about these wild theories of what gang stalking is. And I'm also going to explain very logically and rationally who it is that I think is doing this and why it is being done. So, first things first, I think it is the government doing this. I think it is the authorities doing this. If you are being gang stalked, it is very likely that the government is involved. The program is called Zersetzung. Zersetzung. It was invented by the Stasis to control whistleblowers in East Germany after the Stasis took control of East Germany. That was after the Nazis fell and all that stuff. That good stuff in World War II. And basically, Zersetzung is just a German word which means a decomposition. And it's a decomposition of what? It's a decomposition of your soul. It was called Zersetzung des Seele, the decomposition of the soul. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into Zersetzung and what they used to do. You can look it up. You will have ample time to research that and look it up and figure out, what they used to do. And you're gonna see it's very, 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 very similar to what we experience in modern times with gang stalking. But as far as the government being behind it, I'm going to provide some reasoning for that. So some people say, oh, no, it's just a bunch of normal people, civilians who decide to target you for fun. And I will say, yes, it is possible for a bunch of losers to get together and harass you. The physical gang stalking, i.e. the stalking you in the streets, constantly stalking you in the streets and harassing you, is something that anybody can do. If I wanted to do that to somebody, I would actually be able to do that. All I would have to do is gather a bunch of people, let's say 10 people that are in on it, and decide that we're gonna stalk somebody and study them and see where they go and where they live and where they usually go to, and then it'd be very easy to kind of find that person wherever they go, track them, and then harass them. And obviously, if you have like some kind of like a WhatsApp group or something where you chat with your friends, and then that would make it also very much easier. The problem is, this is, of course, everyone who experiences gangstalking knows this is not what it is limited to. The people who experience gangstalking know, you know very well, if you've been going through it just as I do, just as well as I do, that it is not just boots on the ground, actual people stalking you and harassing you in the streets. It goes much further than that. There is technology involved because they are able to track you in any location. It follows you from country to country, which means it is not a local thing. It is a global thing, which means this is a system. It's a program. But there's clearly a lot of technology involved. There's, satellites being used to track individuals. I have found out through my own experience, and this has been talked about by Jeremy Radlow and by different other people, that they can hear and see what you are doing even when you are in a private location where nobody should be able to see you. And that's when there is actually no devices. Like, I've actually tested this myself. I've taken, I spent some time when I was traveling around Europe, and I was sleeping in my tent in the middle of the woods, in the wilderness. And there were still people letting me know that they could see and hear what I was doing in my tent in the middle of the woods, where I didn't have any device. There was no phone, there was no camera, no bugs. You can't tell me that they would put a bug, a nano camera in my tent and be able to spy on me that way. That doesn't make any sense. So this theory that it is not the government is complete nonsense, man. It has to be the government, because who has the technology, the high-power technology, to track you in any location and to spy on you and to see through walls and to hear and see what you're doing in your privacy? Only the government has access to that kind of technology. So, like I said before, if it was just a bunch of people who are like stalking you and harassing you in the streets, that could easily be initiated or created by any random group of people. But the fact that there is so much technology being used, and I still didn't even get to the thickest of it, which is the DEW that I experience. When I try to go to sleep, I always get this like ringing, zapping kind of noise happening in my head. I can hear something up there zapping in my head. So that has to be technology being involved, and who has access to that kind of technology? The government, of course. So yeah, it's hailing a little bit. There's some hail, as you can see. I can show you here. There's like hail. This is not rain. This is actually hail. Cool, awesome. And and yeah, I guess anyway. So DEW being used on targeted individuals. Clearly, the government is behind that. Clearly, the government has access to this kind of technology. There is also a lot of targeted individuals who have talked about V2K. They get voice to skull. They know that there is some kind of satellite or some kind of technology out there which is zapping voices in their head. I have never experienced that personally, but I know there's a lot of targeted individuals that have experienced it. So again, you cannot tell me that a regular citizen, just like you, just like the average Joe, would have access to this kind of high-powered, high-level technology. It has to be the government. Another thing is people saying that it is, of course, I'm not going to comment about the people talking about, reptilians and demons and jinns and all this kind of witchcraft and nonsense. I don't want to talk about that. My stance on that would be no way. But there's some people saying that it is criminals, criminals that are doing gang stalking. But here's the question. How can criminals follow you from country to country to country? We know that gang stalking doesn't go away just because you move to another country. I've tried doing that myself. I've been to America. I've been to literally every country in Europe. I've been to North Africa. I've been to the Middle East. Everywhere I go, trust me, guys, it follows the same way, the same tactics, the same bullshit, the same harassment, everything. So how can criminals follow you around everywhere? You can say, well, maybe it's a powerful group of criminals. you know, like the mafia that is like following you everywhere in every country, but that's very far-fetched. You know, how big is this criminal group? Come on, guys, man. We know the biggest fucking criminal group out there, which is the government, the world government. Um, but yeah, another reason why it is not criminals who are doing this to you is because if criminals were spying on you and keeping an eye on you and tracking you, they wouldn't be tracking you for years. They wouldn't be tracking you for 8, 7, 9, 10, 11, 20 years without doing anything to you. Because criminals, if they're keeping an eye on you and tracking you, they would be doing it with some motive, with some ulterior motive behind it. You know, they would be looking to either rob you, steal something from you, or kill you. They would have done that a long time ago. They would have killed you or stolen from you in the earliest phase of the gang stalking. So why does it stretch on for years upon years upon years? Doesn't make sense if it's criminals. So again, guys, it is the government. It is the government doing this. It is only the government that has access to this kind of technology, guys. And regular people, regular citizens, including criminals, would not have access to this kind of technology. They would not be able to do this to you. It just would not be fathomable. It wouldn't make any sense. Now, I'm going to be making some, you know, especially if you guys like this video, I'm going to be making some other videos in the future where I'm going to be talking about my experiences with gang stalking. I'm going to be talking about different tips that you can use to combat it or to defeat it. And obviously, I'm going to be talking also about you know, why I think this is being done to people. So, you know, the reasoning that I believe people are being targeted in the first place. But just to end this video, I want to say something. To anybody out there, anyone out there who comes to you, if you're being gang stalked, and tries to offer solutions that are far-fetched, you know, saying things like, oh, I can help you defeat gang stalking. We can beat this thing. We can beat gang stalking. I'm going to tell you something about this person. That person is either lying to you, they're scamming you, they're deceiving you, or number two, they are a moron, a complete moron, because only a moron would believe that they can defeat the government. You saying that you can beat gang stalking or defeat gang stalking is tantamount. It's the same as you saying that you can defeat the government. If the government is trying to do something to you, stalk you, harass you, make your life difficult, and so on and so forth, and somebody comes to you and says, oh, I can help you defeat the government. Bro, if you could do something to defeat the government, bro, Al-Qaeda wants to talk to you. ISIS wants to talk to you. You know, there's a lot of rogue people and terrorist groups and fringe groups that have been fighting the government, the world government and NATO and so on for many, 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 many years. They would love to have a talk with you because you can offer some solutions how to defeat the government. Oh, they would love to talk to you. So, guys, again, let's be reasonable. Let's be serious. Anybody telling you that you can actually defeat gang stalking, they're literally telling you that you can actually defeat the government. You can beat the government. Guys, you can't do that, man. You can't do that. So anybody offering these kind of, you know, you can end it solutions is nonsense. Yes, I can give you tips. I can give you a lot of tips on what you can do to protect yourself and to help yourself and to be strong in the face of the gang stalking. But I can't promise you that it's going to go away. I can't promise you that you can defeat it. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, you know, please like, subscribe, and comment. And if you want to see more, you're going to see me in some more videos in the future where I'm going to talk about more experiences, some really juicy stuff, you know, like really wild and crazy experiences that I've been through. And I'm sure you guys have also been through a lot of crazy things with gang stalking, as it usually is. So I'm going to be making more videos in the future, and hopefully I'm going to offer something of value to you guys. And, you know, as always, guys, stay safe. You know, keep calm, keep your head on your shoulders, and stay safe out there, okay? Take care, yeah? See ya.